Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are once again at the center of intense public discussion, after comments from designer Jeff Banks brought several old controversies back into the spotlight. What began as a television appearance quickly spread online, with royal watchers revisiting questions about Meghan's past, Harry and Meghan's relationship, their social connections, and the way the Sussexes continue to be connected to the royal family. Some of the claims being discussed remain unverified, particularly the more extreme theories circulating online. There is no confirmed evidence establishing those allegations as fact, yet the conversation has grown rapidly because these subjects have already been debated for years. The latest development has therefore reopened an old question. Why does almost every new discussion involving Harry and Meghan eventually lead back to their royal past? One reason is the way the couple has handled privacy. Harry and Meghan have consistently tried to keep certain parts of their personal lives away from the public, especially when it comes to their children. That decision is understandable. However, limited information can sometimes create more curiosity rather than less. When details are unavailable, people begin searching for explanations. Old photographs resurface. Previous interviews are clipped and reposted. Statements from years ago are compared with newer comments. Suddenly, subjects that appeared to have disappeared return to the headlines. That is what happened again after the latest comments. Online discussions quickly moved toward Meghan's life before she became a member of the royal family. Soho House and Marcus Anderson once again appeared in conversations about the social circles Meghan moved through before meeting Harry. The official account of Harry and Meghan's relationship has always been straightforward. They were introduced through mutual connections, began communicating, and eventually developed a relationship. Supporters see the story as a modern romance. Critics have suggested that elite social networks played a larger role. Whether those theories are accurate or not, they have become part of the public narrative surrounding Meghan. Once the discussion returned, people began examining old photographs and interviews again. Supporters argued that Meghan had already faced years of unfair scrutiny and that the renewed attention represented another attempt to attack her character. Critics argued that Harry and Meghan themselves had chosen to speak publicly about their experiences through documentaries, interviews, podcasts, and other projects. That created a difficult contradiction. The Sussexes wanted greater control over their private lives, but they also wanted greater control over the public story surrounding them. Once someone shares their own version of events, audiences naturally begin comparing that version with everything they already know. One interview leads to another question. One question leads back to an older controversy. That controversy creates another round of commentary. And eventually, the original issue becomes part of a much larger argument. Harry has experienced a similar problem with his own public identity. During his years as a working royal, his role was clearly defined. Military service, charity work, official engagements, overseas tour, and royal responsibilities provided structure. After stepping away from royal duties, that structure changed dramatically. California offered Harry and Meghan a completely different environment. Instead of official engagements, they entered the world of entertainment, streaming, podcasts, celebrity events, commercial projects, and personal branding. For supporters, this represented independence. For critics, it looked like a transformation from royal service into celebrity culture. The difference becomes particularly noticeable during Harry's solo appearances. When he attends military-related events or works with veterans, some viewers believe they see a more familiar version of him. They say he appears more relaxed and more natural when discussing subjects connected to his earlier life. Body language interpretations are subjective and cannot reveal someone's private emotions. Still, the public perception has become part of the larger discussion. Harry's connection to military service remains one of the strongest elements of his public identity. When he focuses on veterans, charity, or service, the attention often moves away from royal family disputes and toward causes he has supported for years. That has caused some observers to wonder whether Harry's strongest future role could be connected to charitable work rather than entertainment. But even then, his royal background remains impossible to separate from his identity. Harry can leave the institution, but he cannot erase the history that made him famous. His family, childhood, title, and royal upbringing remain central to public interest. This creates one of the biggest contradictions in his life. Harry and Meghan wanted independence from the monarchy, but their royal connection remains one of the biggest reasons the world continues watching them. Leaving the institution gave them freedom. It did not erase the public's fascination with the institution. Meanwhile, the monarchy itself has continued moving forward. King Charles has maintained a relatively disciplined public approach. Prince William and Princess Catherine remain central figures in the future of the monarchy. Prince Edward and Sophie have also gained positive attention by continuing their duties without becoming heavily involved in public drama. That difference has become increasingly obvious. The working royals generally focus on official engagements, charitable work, ceremonies, and institutional responsibilities. Harry and Meghan continue to attract headlines through interviews, projects, appearances, and controversies surrounding their public image. Even when they are not actively seeking attention, their names can become part of a new debate. If they respond to criticism, the response becomes another headline. If they remain silent, speculation can grow. If they discuss their experiences, critics say they are continuing to profit from royal drama. If they stop discussing the monarchy, people still connect them to it. There seems to be no completely neutral option. That is why the latest discussion involving Jeff Banks became bigger than one television appearance. It reopened years of debate about Meghan's past, the Sussex's social circles, and their relationship with the media. The conversation also returned to Archie and Lilibet. Harry and Meghan have taken a much more private approach to their children's lives than Prince William and Princess Catherine did with their children. That decision belongs to the parents. Yet the difference in approach created enormous public curiosity. Because Archie and Lilibet rarely appear publicly, every photograph receives significant attention. Every official announcement becomes a major story. Even small details can produce large discussions online. Over time, some internet users began questioning timelines and circumstances surrounding the children's births. Some of those discussions developed into extreme theories. But those theories should not be treated as established facts. There is no confirmed evidence supporting the more dramatic claims that circulate online. Silence from Harry and Meghan does not prove those claims either. They cannot realistically answer every rumor that appears on social media, and their decision not to respond should not automatically be interpreted as confirmation or denial. Yet online audiences often reach their own conclusions. That is another reason the Sussex story remains difficult to control. Their private decisions are constantly interpreted through a public lens. Even an ordinary choice can become a headline. Harry's relationship with his former life remains another important part of the story. His military service is still one of the areas where public attention often becomes more positive. When Harry works with veterans or attends service-related events, the discussion can feel very different from the arguments surrounding royal family disputes. There is a recognizable connection between Harry and that part of his past. It reminds audiences of the period when his public identity was based more heavily on service than on media controversy. That may explain why some viewers continue to believe that Harry could build a stronger independent identity around charity and veterans' causes. But there is a problem. The royal connection never completely disappears. Harry's fame is inseparable from the family into which he was born. Even outside Britain, people know him as Prince Harry. That means every new stage of his life is measured against his royal past. This became especially important after Harry and Meghan left official royal duties. At the beginning, expectations were enormous. The couple had global recognition, a huge audience, and access to powerful entertainment networks. The Netflix agreement attracted enormous attention. Spotify became another major partnership. Harry's memoir created headlines around the world. For a time, the Sussex brand appeared extremely powerful. But the momentum eventually changed. The Spotify relationship ended. Some anticipated projects did not develop as expected. Other projects received attention but did not create the same cultural impact as the couple's earliest announcements. That led critics to question whether Harry and Meghan had a sustainable long-term strategy. Were they building a completely independent brand? Or were they still depending on the public's fascination with royal life? That question became more important with every new interview. Whenever the couple discussed disagreements with the royal family, the reaction was enormous. But the more frequently old grievances returned, the more some viewers began asking whether Harry and Meghan could ever truly separate themselves from the institution they left. The irony was difficult to ignore. They left royal duties to build an independent life. Yet their royal history remained one of the strongest sources of attention surrounding that life. This is why criticism about monetizing royal status became stronger. Critics argued that Harry and Meghan had stepped away from official responsibilities while continuing to benefit from their royal fame. Supporters rejected that argument. They believed Harry and Meghan had every right to tell their own experiences and build careers using their public profile. The debate remains divided. And because both sides feel strongly about it, even ordinary developments can become controversial. A trip can become a discussion about branding. A charity appearance can become a public relations debate. A lifestyle project can become a conversation about influence. A family matter can become international entertainment news. This is the environment surrounding the Sussexes today. At the same time, the monarchy has continued functioning. After Queen Elizabeth II's death, many observers expected major instability. Instead, King Charles continued his duties. William and Catherine remained central to the next generation. Edward and Sophie continued carrying out official responsibilities. The institution adapted. The monarchy did not stop because Harry left. The royal calendar continued. Official engagements continued. Public attention moved toward new issues. New generations of royals became increasingly important. For Harry, watching that process from outside may be complicated. He chose to leave because he wanted a different life. But the institution he left behind continued without him. That may be one of the hardest realities of his position. Harry remains one of the world's most recognizable royals, yet he is no longer part of the monarchy's daily working structure. He is simultaneously inside the royal story and outside the institution. That contradiction keeps public interest alive. Meghan's position is equally complicated. Supporters see her as a woman who entered an intensely traditional institution, experienced enormous pressure, and ultimately chose independence. Critics see her differently and argue that the way she managed her public image contributed to many of the controversies that followed. The reality of their private experiences belongs to Harry and Meghan. The public only sees selected pieces. Interviews, documentaries, photographs, statements, public appearances. Those pieces are then assembled into completely different interpretations. That makes narrative control extremely difficult. There is no single version of the Sussex story accepted by everyone. Supporters have one interpretation. Critics have another. Royal traditionalists have another. Celebrity commentators have another. Social media creates new versions every day. The latest controversy simply became another spark in an already crowded debate. It reminded the public that interest in Harry and Meghan has not disappeared. The question is why people continue watching. For some, it is because they genuinely support the couple. For others, it is because they strongly oppose their decisions. For many, it is simply fascination. The story combines royalty, celebrity, family conflict, money, identity, media, and public image. Few modern celebrity stories contain all of those elements at the same time. Harry's position is particularly unusual because he cannot completely become an ordinary celebrity. His history prevents that. Even when he appears in California, people see the prince. Even when he works with charities, his royal background remains relevant. Even when he talks about personal experiences, audiences connect those experiences to the institution he left. And whenever Meghan begins a new project, the royal connection remains part of the conversation. That means the Sussexes may never completely escape royal headlines. They can change their focus. They can build businesses. They can emphasize charity. They can reduce their involvement in royal discussions. But the connection is likely to remain. The working royals, meanwhile, appear to have followed a very different strategy. Keep working. Avoid unnecessary confrontation. Focus on official responsibilities. Do not respond to every rumor. Let time move attention elsewhere. It may seem less dramatic than celebrity controversy, but consistency can become powerful. That may explain why Edward and Sophie have gained positive attention. They have not needed constant media battles to remain relevant. They simply continued working. William and Catherine have followed a similar approach in many areas, with their public roles centered on duty and preparation for the future monarchy. For the institution, that creates stability. For Harry and Meghan, the challenge is much harder. Their public identity is built partly around royalty and partly around independence from royalty. Those identities are difficult to separate. If they discuss the royal family, critics say they cannot move on. If they stop discussing the royal family, some of the attention surrounding them may disappear. If they embrace celebrity culture, people compare it with their former royal responsibilities. If they focus on charity, their royal history remains part of the story. There is no perfect solution. That is why the latest controversy matters less because of what it proves, and more because of what it reveals. The public conversation surrounding Harry and Meghan remains unsettled. Old questions have not disappeared. New projects have not completely replaced old controversies. Every fresh development can bring the past back into the present. For audiences, the most important distinction is between confirmed information and speculation. A rumor repeated thousands of times does not become a fact. A commentator mentioning a theory does not prove it. A photograph does not necessarily establish the story attached to it. Silence does not automatically confirm anything. This becomes especially important when private family matters are involved. Harry and Meghan's children did not choose public life. Whatever people think about their parents, speculation involving the children should be approached carefully. The same principle applies to the wider royal family. A public disagreement does not necessarily reveal everything about a private relationship. A short statement cannot explain an entire family dynamic. And a single public appearance cannot reveal someone's complete emotions. Still, the fascination remains because Harry and Meghan represent something unusual in modern royal history. They stepped away from official duties, moved to another country, entered the entertainment world, and continued building a global public profile. Yet their connection to the monarchy remained impossible to escape. That combination created a story that continues attracting attention. The latest controversy will probably fade eventually, just as previous controversies have. Another royal event will dominate the headlines. Another interview will change the conversation. Another project will create a fresh debate. But one question is likely to remain. Can Harry and Meghan eventually build a public identity that exists independently of royal drama? Or will the institution they left behind remain the strongest force shaping their fame? Only time will answer that. For Harry, the challenge may be finding a role that feels authentic without repeatedly returning to the conflicts of the past. For Meghan, it may be building an identity that is recognized independently rather than constantly being measured against royal life. For the monarchy, the challenge is maintaining stability while a former member continues to command enormous international attention. And for the public, the challenge is separating verified information from speculation. The Sussex story has already changed the way modern royal life is discussed. It has raised questions about privacy, duty, celebrity, family relationships, media control, and independence. But it has also demonstrated one important reality. Leaving the royal institution does not necessarily mean leaving the royal story. Harry and Meghan may have stepped away from official duties, but their royal connection remains one of the strongest forces shaping their public lives. The world continues to watch. The headlines continue to appear. The questions continue to return. And every new controversy brings the same reality back into focus. Harry and Meghan may be building a different life, but their royal past remains an unavoidable part of their present. If viewers want to keep following the latest royal developments, they can subscribe to the channel and stay connected. The channel will continue covering major royal stories, public reactions, and developments, while clearly separating confirmed information from online speculation. For now, the future remains uncertain. The Sussexes have already taken a path that few modern royals have taken before them. Whether that path eventually leads them completely away from royal controversy, or whether the royal connection continues following them for years, remains one of the biggest unanswered questions surrounding their public lives. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the story alive.